Y'all tune in to Real Life Street Stars, and make sure you go get that app off of Google Play. Download it now.
And we gon' get this money. I'm stacking hundreds eyeballs. I can show you how to live like a boss. And we gon' get this money. Keep a bad chick just to toss. You know the slang, candy paint, lip gloss. And we gon' get this money. Even when it's dark, I shine. Whether rain, hell, or snow, I grind. And we gon' get this money. I done speaking truth in my lines. I'm the realest in the booth when I rhyme. And we gon' get this money. It's King Trill, Mr. Fucker, major deal. Still keeping it drill while spitting knowledge to the real. Still chasing a meal like I think.
Real Life Street Stars. We in here with King Trill. What it is, man?
What it is, man?
Chillin', man. Just checked out the video, man. I'm feeling that. Where you from, bro? So the people that do not know.
Yeah, I'm originally from Clarksdale, Mississippi, man, the Delta. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here in Dallas, though, since about 99, so I still rap for D-Town, too, man.
Shout out to Mississippi, man. All my people from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So how long you been rapping and shit?
Man, I started rapping at a real young age, man. Probably when I was about 4 or 5, I started rapping and beatboxing, actually. You know what I'm saying? Then as far as just really taking it serious, I say about the time I was about 13, man, I started taking it serious. And you know what I'm saying? That's when I really decided to start, you know what I'm saying, trying to build a label and get everything going.
Yeah, man, I noticed the album is called Real Estate, bro. Can you explain that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the idea behind the album came, I released a project back in 2007 called Southern Collision. You know what I'm saying? And with that project, I just kind of went state to state selling CDs out the trunk out of mom and pop stores. I sold 5,000 copies of that, of pressed up copies, and I sold about another 2,000 of just pressed up CDs, you know what I'm saying, like promo CDs. And I took that money, I used that money to buy a house out here in the Metroplex. I bought that house, it was about 2008 I bought that house. You know what I'm saying, and that was my first investment property. You know what I'm saying, and so from now on, I've just been kind of moving around the city, investing in real estate a little bit. And what I wanted to do was take the music and tie it in with the music, because a lot of people don't realize, man, the rap game is just a stepping stone, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, being in Dallas, we sitting on a lot of money out here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't realize that while they was talking about the whole recession back in the day when Bush was in office, so they was building $1 million houses out here throughout the Metroplex, building big buildings and shit. So it's a lot of money out here.
Yeah, man, I hear you said, was them CDs out the trunk? That's how you selling them things?
Oh, yeah, out the trunk, man.
Yeah.
Hottest spot I went to was Austin and San Antonio, man. I went to Austin and they was gone, man. I think it was 5th Street or 6th Street down there. It was like, yeah, during the daytime, it was like it was real slow, but it was like soon as nighttime hit, it just got real live, man, and they just started going. I was pushing a song back then called Hood. You know what I'm saying? It was a beat I had made. It had a real good vibe to it, and so just pushing that, man, they went out the trunk fast.
Man, I'm glad that you took that money and did something with it, man. I used to be out there slanging CDs too, man, and I used to really take that money and invest right back in my shit, bro. And that's really good to hear that a nigga did that shit. Real talk, come up off that shit.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of artists miss out at, man. You get artists out here, they make the bread, but they don't really know what to do with their money, man. It's like the rap game is just a stepping stone, man. You got to take your money and invest it back into something else.
Real talk. And just curiosity, man, out in Austin, man, what was the most CDs you sold at one time?
Austin is probably where I did the most. I probably did about 1,000 just in Austin alone, and then the rest of it was just scattered around. When I tell you they was going like hotcakes, man, they was going.
How much were you selling them for?
For $7, $5 to $7, man, just whatever people had on. But I was trying to get about $7 off of them.
Real talk, you know what I'm saying? We used to do the same thing, you know what I'm saying, back in the rap game. But it's funny because when you go out and sell someone a CD, sometimes you got to put on a little show or spit something for them. Did you used to have to do that back in the day?
Yeah, I always did that, man. That's probably where the king part of my name came from, because I used to spit real fast. But yeah, anytime you're out there, you always got people that want to hear you flow. So it was selling the CDs came from me just sitting down, spitting the people right there on the street, and then it was just me sitting down letting them, like I always made sure I had some headphones or something, just let them listen to the music. You know what I'm saying? That's whether they was buying it or not, I made them sit down and listen to it.
Yeah, very smart. I know you stated your name as far as where you got it from. Where did the full name King Trill come from?
All right, now that's a good question. That's something I really want to get into, because it'd be a lot of controversy come behind it. Okay, the name King Trill. I created the name King Trill way back in '97 before anybody else was using the word Trill as a name. I was young, man, before I was even a teenager. And so where the name comes from is back in my hood, man. Like my favorite rapper growing up was Lord Infamous of 3 6 Mafia. I used to rap just like him. So growing up in my hood, they used to call me Young Lord or Infamous or something like that. But it's like I ain't want people to think I was trying to come out with a gangbang image, so I switched the name Lord to King. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where the King come from. And then Trill, my name originally wasn't Trill, it was Thrill. But every time I rap, I kept saying Trill. Trill was a popular word, you know, that started with UGK, but it was just every time I rap, I would say Trill instead of Thrill. So it switched it to King Lil Trill, then eventually I just dropped the Lil because I wasn't Lil no more.
Yeah, most everybody be dropping a little after a little bit. Man, that's what's up, man. In your lyrics, man, you definitely do got you definitely do get personal. You spit a lot of real, man. Tell us kind of how was it growing up, you know what I'm saying, in Mississippi, as far as just coming up, what kind of music you went to, kind of what was your environment like coming into the game, whatever.
Well, the part of Mississippi I'm from, we from the Delta, man. We from the north part of Mississippi, so we grew up under the Memphis market. I got to watch the whole Memphis 3 6 Mafia. I was listening to 3 6 Mafia when they were still putting out cassette tapes and just really grinding and doing their thing. So we came up under the Memphis market and a lot of Chicago. So that's where a lot of my early influence came from, was from that there. And then being in my hometown, man, it's one of the biggest cities in the area, but it's a real small town compared to everybody else. I say about 20,000 people, man. And it's like being in that kind of environment, you're dealing with, it's a hood environment, but then everything just compounded. It's like you can cross the street and you're in a different hood. You know what I'm saying? So it's like growing up in my hood back in the day, man, you get in the shootouts about 2-3 times a day, people just coming through. You know what I'm saying? And that was part of the inspiration behind my music, because even at a young age, I can see that it's like it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? For black people to be shooting and killing each other and have that much hate towards each other.
Was it more gang violence back then? I know it was like in the 90s, gang violence was pretty prominent back then.
Oh, yeah. Mississippi, my city it's Chicago influence, so we got GDs and VLs out there, Black Pete, Stone Foes. So I grew up around all that, man. And it's out there, it's not necessarily about red versus blue. You know what I'm saying? It's more about how much you actually know. You know, so how much you actually know about what it is you're claiming and what you represent. And ain't no false flagging in my hometown. So
Real talk.
that was a, you know what I'm saying? It sparks a lot of things, man.
Man, did as far as just you sticking to the music, was there anything else that kept you from that kind of lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? As far as family, your daddy or something that kept you from kind of going left like that, whatever.
No, it's like the people from our hood, we hood first, you know what I'm saying? We got gangs and things in the hood, but it's like we our neighborhood first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? My neighborhood is a RYD, the round yard. So it's like that's family first, and being from my neighborhood, you know, they raised us right. The OGs, they raised us right, the old heads. So it's like they let us know the game at a young age, let us know what we was going through and what we was getting into. But music is what really helped offset a lot of things, man. It's been times where music that kind of saved my life, because as I was growing up, you know, I was kind of working my name through the city. So there was times where I'd be walking through the wrong neighborhood and cats will run up on me, and then it's like they'll recognize me, be like, oh, that's that cat that rap. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I used to rap real fast, so they'll be like, hey, man, you got to spit something for us. You know what I mean? And so
that should have bridged gaps, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that was the point I was trying to make. The move I was making before I got out this way was bridging gaps.
Real talk. So speaking of coming out this way, man, tell us about as far as kind of what got you to Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you've been to Austin, you've been to San Antonio, but Dallas is, where you decided to stay. What got you out here, and also tell us about the label that you created, you know?
I moved out here in Dallas when I was about 99, man, because I really didn't have no place to stay out there in Mississippi, so I just my sister brought me out here to stay on vacation. I just didn't want to go home. I came out here on the bus. Didn't have no money, no clothes, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to just stay here and try to build something for myself. And getting out here was the same thing. As soon as I got out here, I got involved with people in the music scene and just started working my way around. So I started my label back in 2002. It was on EMG Elite Music Group, and there was just artists from Texas and Mississippi. If you know Puka Leroy, his artist Young Ghost, I'm the cat that got Young Ghost into the music business back in the day.
Hell yeah. Shout out Young Ghost and Puka Leroy, man. Real talk.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Pookie and Lucci was hot in like 99.
That was the first CD I bought.
Yeah.
Literally the first CD I bought was Mr. Pookie and Mr. Lucci. You know what I'm saying? And it's like their style and their flavor, they kind of rap real fast, and that was what we was real cool with. So when I got that, I actually took it back home and put my peoples on it out there, and it just blended in, man. They love that shit.
Real shit, man. So even up to now, you know what I'm saying, you switched up the label. Tell us about the label now.
Yeah, I switched label because, it's a lot of cats that came out with EMGs and all kinds of other things like that. So I wanted to start off something brand new. So the label I got now is Outline Media Group, and it's kind of tied into what I'm doing with real estate. I'm trying to launch a big real estate company next year. So everything I do from now on is Outline. You know what I mean? I had to come up with something that it's like everywhere you turn, there's something called elite. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to break away from that whole elite thing, and it took me a while to come up with the name, but you know, so once I put it together, that's what I came up with, was Outline Media Group. And so going on from this point, it's just about, I'm in a big position of power right now, man, because being in the game at the time period I started, I learned the real music business as opposed to what you seeing today. What you seeing today, it ain't the music business at all. You get what I'm saying? So now I got the power to market, promote, distribute my music worldwide, global. You know what I'm saying? And by this summer, I'm trying to get it to the point where we can put it in the big stores. We got the mom and pop stores. It's in stores. So we got mom and pop stores, but we trying to get it to the Best Buys and the Targets by next summer.
What's the fakest shit that ever happened to you?
Fake as shit, man. Just there's another side is that I work behind the scenes a lot in Dallas, man. I did a lot of club events between 2011, 2013. I was running damn near all the clubs. By 2012, man, I was a rapper running 5 clubs in Dallas. You know what I'm saying, around the Metroplex. And part of it was dealing with these fake club owners, man. I done had club owners where they'll try to book 2 promoters on the same night, or you know what I'm saying, just different things like that. And it's like what really happened in Dallas is that a lot of our clubs started shutting down, and part of the reason why they was shutting down was just because they was doing so much bad business. You get what I'm saying? And that's really what hurt the city right there, man. Just everybody doing bad business, man. But that's probably that. I think I'm gonna tell you a story, man. We was doing an event. We had an event at the Infinity Lounge out there in Pleasant Grove, and we had the event set up, so I set it up through another DJ, man, and everything was cool. We talked to the club owner, so the night of the event, the club owner, she calls and tells me that she had another promoter, you know what I'm saying, booked for the same spot. And so, man, I'm furious. I had one of the girls I was working with, Miss Mimi, she was already down there at the spot, man. We got 100 people coming to the club, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to get down there to the spot, man, because I was going to go off, and it just so happened while I'm on my way down there, I'm around 35 headed south, and my damn car cut off on me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like shit, if I would have got down there, man, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today, man.
I want to touch on this topic. A topic we did a long time ago on DJs versus artists. How you feel about DJs versus artists? You speak on that for us.
I think it's time to put it to rest in Dallas, man. Because let's say I hit the Dallas scene as far as dealing with the scene about 2010. So from 2010 and we in 2017, that's been a topic like every day. And it comes from the way that it's not the artist's fault, it's not the DJ's fault, it's the way that the industry is portrayed. And so this what the artist got to realize is that it's not the DJ's job to put your record out. You know what I'm saying? It's not the DJ's job to break a record. It's actually the thing that's missing from the game is the record labels. There are no record labels no more. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually dealing with just straight independent artists. And so what they don't realize is that it's your job to break the record to the streets and now to the internet first before you even put it into the hands of the DJs. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's like a constant conversation, man. It's like every day you seeing that argument across Facebook or whatever it is, across social media, man, and it's like it's time to put that to rest. I think the real issue is that social media gives the cats that's at the bottom, the cats that ain't really making the moves, it gives them too much of a voice. So it's like you don't hear the rappers that's actually making the moves complaining about it. It's the rappers that ain't really doing nothing, that's looking for a free ride, that's complaining about it. You get what I'm saying?
Shit. Do you believe in God?
Nah, man, that's one of the things that that's propelling me into this new movement is that I pulled away from our beliefs, our religious beliefs, and I think it's something that all black people need to do. It's like we need to really pull back. I'm gonna tell you 3 things, man. Education, religion, and politics are the 3 main things that black people in America need to pull back from because none of it comes from our people. You know what I'm saying? This country is it's built on European culture. You understand what I'm saying? So for what we've been doing throughout our time period inside this country is fighting to be a part of European culture. You get what I'm saying? So we need to pull back and come up with our own beliefs, traditions, and cultures that we feel fit us because, well, we got 2 questions. You know, we asking why is there so much black on black crime is because the things we're teaching our people is teaching them self-hate. You know what I'm saying? You teach your people to praise the white man as your God, as your leader, and as your hero. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect the youth to come up growing up respecting themselves as they looking at if they looking at the white man as their savior. You understand what I'm saying?
Who do you believe in if you don't believe in God?
Man, I don't believe in nobody. I believe in me. So I'm gonna teach you something about words. What you put into your mind is a strong thing. So the word belief, a belief is basically a theory. Means it's still room for a reasonable doubt. So I don't believe in nothing. I only know what I know. So it's a big difference between telling yourself you believe in something and telling yourself you know something. So for the people that do think that there's a God, if you're telling yourself you believe in God, yeah, it's just like telling yourself you don't believe in God, because you're still leaving room for that reasonable doubt that shit, God don't exist. You understand what I'm saying? So I live my life by what I know, what I can prove myself, not based on what somebody else done said.
Real talk, real talk.
Man, that's some of the realest shit. Man, you just spoke on social media and stuff like that. You have a real market push behind yourself too. You seem to got the game outlined. Man, how's your social media buzz and how's your social media push going right now?
Yeah, it took me a couple of years to really build that social media, but I'm connected to about 200,000 people across the internet, and then that don't include the people that's just listening to my music. Man, I generate about 20,000 plays a month just across the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got them numbers.
Because I tell you what people mess up at is that the internet, it's always important to have your internet together before you do anything, any marketing, any promotion, before you put a song on the radio, shoot a video, you got to have your internet together. And once you get that, that's what holds your ground. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. And speaking on that, Brandon, man, go ahead and grab I want you to grab the CD that you brought in the poster, man. This is this is something serious, man. Like, you know, you come in with the shirt, with the poster, with the CDs, man. Cats don't even be on that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as putting their brand out there and, you know, just as far as having visuals to be able to, you know what I'm saying? So tell us about that as far as, you know, your mindset on, you know, getting posters, getting your CD pressed up, bringing it, you know, getting custom shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah, everything about this project, the name of the album I'm pushing right now is called Real Estate. Everything about it was kind of last minute, man. It's like I had, it's like between 2014, 2015, I was strictly focused on real estate. I had pulled back from the music business, man. But it's like everything online, like my sales and everything, when I stopped messing with everything, started generating, started multiplying. So it kind of motivated me to get back into it. So I went on, as I was sitting down listening to my music one day, I was like, damn, man, I got a full album. So I released the album earlier this year online, and it immediately started picking up sales like that. You know what I mean? And so back in November, I was doing the first event I had did in Dallas in a while, man. And I was sitting up looking at the flyers, like, man, I got everything on this flyer except for me. And so I was like, I might as well go and do an album release party. And so I just went on and got the album pressed up and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, shit, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well go all the way. So it's like what I did was I went on and put the album in stores. Right now I got the album in about 12 stores around the Metroplex. I put them in stores first, because what I wanted to do is, like, if you look at the poster, man, I got all the CD stores and things on the posters like that, because I feel like one of the big connects is that don't nobody know what CD stores is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody know where to go to get them. You know
nobody know where to go get them. So I was like, let me put them in the CD stores first and then start the promo.
Very smart, man. Goddamn, very smart. Even with that said, you know, as far as with this music, I know we asked you about the fake and stuff that happened to you, man. But tell us, what's either the realest thing that happened to you or something, the realest thing someone said to you about, you know, listening to your music?
Probably the realest thing I came across in the business is about the 2011 time period when I was on I was pushing a song called Grind Hard back then, and I was just going state to state with that. But I went through Oklahoma, and so I just put up a post on Facebook that said I wanted to go through Oklahoma. And so some of the people out there, they started gravitating to me. They went in, like, I had a couple people when they got all the club names, the DJ's name. Like, they showed me a lot of love in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Because when I do promo, man, I'm foot in the hood. I'm on the street, you know what I'm saying, doing what I do. And so it's like the people out there, they show me mad love. So Oklahoma's like my third home, man.
Real talk, man. Shout out to OK, man, for real. And you spoke on, of course, the housing market, you know what I'm saying, Bush and things of that nature. We just got Donald Trump, man, you know what I'm saying, about a month away from getting to office, man. What do you feel about that whole election and just election in general and Donald Trump becoming president?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like they kind of gave the wrong man too much power. I don't think that just your average people, they don't really understand what they did, but for me, getting into this real estate business, Donald Trump is a real estate mogul. So it's like this. Right now, the housing market in Dallas is overpriced. You got houses, like people selling their houses making $50,000 off top. Like, our housing market out here is overpriced. So with him being in office, it's either the market is going to continue to grow or it's going to drop back down and make it a little bit more affordable so we can build up some real profit going on around here. Because our housing market is out of control. You know what I'm saying? But then when it comes to black people, you know, he put out a letter stating what it was he wanted to do for black people in our neighborhoods. And, you know, so a lot of people, they just heard black people, Donald Trump want to do this for black people, and it's like, and they kind of just ran with it, but then nobody actually read in between the lines. And basically what he's trying to do, which is what they've been doing for years, is they want to get to the point where they start coming into our neighborhoods and just taking over, reinvesting. See, the biggest problem we got in the hood is that black people, we don't understand the value that we have inside of our neighborhoods. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like we keep moving, especially you sit out here in the Metroplex, everybody's moving out of the black neighborhoods and they're moving up more towards the suburbs. And as we move towards the suburbs, all your investors, they moving to the hoods. They buying our houses for $20,000, turn around selling them for $120,000. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's why it's so real. It's like you got to really sit down and pay attention to politics, man.
Real talk, man. It's funny. I think some cats in Houston, man, they had got together and they said we're gonna do nothing but invest our money into black banks. You know, do you think that's a smart move that artists in Dallas should do? Maybe just come together and like kind of unify and just start putting their money only into black businesses, black shows, black ran clubs, and things like that.
I think there's one thing that Dallas is missing a strong sense of blackness, and that's one thing that does, you know what I'm saying, it affects us as a whole. You know, so we got black businesses out here, but all around. What black people all around got to realize is bigger than just being black. Like, we are Americans. And so one of the things that we do need to start doing with our businesses is that we have to take our businesses beyond just trying to advertise to black people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I was at Michelle's the other day over there in North Dallas. It was Asians in there. It was white people in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
everybody love our culture. They love our food. But it's like we're steady limiting ourselves because we're trying to just get the black dollar. And the truth is there's no such thing as a black dollar, because at the end of every dollar is a white man clocking in.
Definitely. I mean, I want to touch on, you know what I'm saying, you got the video out, Get This Money, man. I definitely want everybody to go on YouTube and check it out, man. Tell us about that video itself, you know what I'm saying? Tell us about that single and putting that together.
Man, that video, it really didn't come out nothing like I had envisioned. We shot for about 3 or 4 days, but the way he put it together, it made a lot of sense. It's like in the song, if you just really sit down and listen to it, I'm talking about real estate. So the idea was that I wanted to show Dallas, I wanted to show Texas, but mainly Dallas in a different light, because people really think we cowboys and Indians out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what people in the other states think. So that's the reason why I shot it downtown with all the big buildings, but at the same time, it's like I wanted to show the real money that we have out here. That's why I shot the video. I'm saying I was in a suite, a penthouse downtown on the top floor, and just showing the business, because that's where we need to be going. You know what I'm saying? With this money, with the music, with everything that we doing, we need to be down here trying to buy these big buildings that they building, man. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. Yeah, you had a nice looking young lady in that, man. I thought she was a secretary, man. Then she started twerking, man. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, her name is Krista Marie, man. When we first started doing this, I met her about 10 years ago when she was 18. You know what I'm saying? And she did some stuff with me. Then she moved to Cali and came back. So it's kind of like she came back down here just in time for the video. And I had a couple other chicks in there, Yvette Tadil. Yeah. She does a lot of things all around the Metroplex. That's probably somebody who y'all do need to get her. She's the hardest working chick I know when it comes to modeling. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely put point in our direction, man. Speaking of, different cities, is there any other city you feel like you could kind of go and grow in? Like, as far as, the Atlanta's got a big music scene going on now. LA always had one. New York is getting their buzz back. Any other city you would want to go to kind of push this music? I
mean, I'm going to go state to state. Anytime I do something, I go state to state, and then dealing with online is like I market global, I market worldwide. But my music, I got different types of music, man. So I got a single out song, a video out called Still I Rise. If you listen to that, that's more some East Coast flavor. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I got music to hit all 4 coasts, and I get love from people from all 4 coasts. But just with this project made me want to get back into the streets. And so that's what I want to do, is I want to go back to the streets and, you know what I'm saying, market in all 50 states, man.
Real talk, man. We're approaching the new year, man. What you got going on for New Year's Eve, man? And also what's your 2017 looking like, man, with this music, man?
My New Year's, man, honestly, I'm on this, what I'm doing is a street promo tour. So I'm going all around the Metroplex, man. Every inch, every city, every neighborhood. So from right now, let's see, we're in December, probably up to about mid of January. I'm gonna just be going hood to hood throughout the Metroplex. My next round, went out through North Dallas, Pleasant Grove. My next round is Fort Worth and Denton. Just putting out CDs, flyers, and posters, man.
Hell yeah.
Then going into the 2017 right now, so I got 2 things going on. I got the local promo, the street promo in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And then I just had a PR firm firm. They doing some major marketing for me. You know what I'm saying? I just hit the Source, Hip Hop Weekly. So they pushing me towards all the major blogs and the major sites and things like that. So going into 2017, it's about stepping into that mainstream, man.
Real talk, man. Shout out that Source and Hip Hop Weekly plug too, man, for real. As far as let's say I wouldn't limit it to one thing, but give me 3 things that you learned from just everything that you learned from the game, from real estate. Just 3 things that you learned that you wouldn't have known, or someone watching this wouldn't have known off top. You know what I'm saying?
Just 3 things. Let me see, man. Probably the most important thing is just put it like this: we don't realize how much we know about big business dealing with the music industry. The things that we do, like flyers, CDs, posters, you understand what I'm saying? Like just your social media networking. It's companies out there that pay thousands and thousands of dollars, you understand what I'm saying, to get that same type of exposure out there that we get for the type of business that we do. Like, we don't realize is this thing that we think is so small is actually something so major. And that's why so many people invest so much money into hip hop, and you know what I'm saying, why hip hop is the longest running music genre of all time. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's the first thing. The second thing would be just learning how to being in Dallas. Dallas taught me a lot about how to maneuver amongst people, especially when it comes to dealing with people of different races, people of different backgrounds. I think that's part of the biggest thing I learned since I've been out here in Dallas is that, and there's another thing people don't realize is that we're in a city where you can stop at a light and you got 5 lanes at this light. You know what I'm saying? At that lane, you're going to have a white person listening to rap music. You got an Asian listening to rap music. You got a Mexican listening to rap music. You got somebody from a foreign country you ain't never heard of sitting down there listening to rap music. So it helped me open up my eyes as far as like where we really need to be going as far as marketing and advertising. Like, there are no limits. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, that's real. Man, that's real.
And then getting into the real estate is like I learned a little bit about real estate when I was young, just growing up in the hood, because the people in my neighborhood, the older people, you know what I'm saying, they took their property's value. Like, we used to play kickball in the streets, and if we kicked the ball in one of my neighbor's yard, you understand what I'm saying, they'll come take the ball in the house, you know what I'm saying, or call the police on us. And I didn't understand it back then, but now that I'm older and I done have my own properties, like, it made me understand property value. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like being in Dallas. Dallas is like like for people that ain't from Dallas, when we look at Dallas, what we see is like you can see one house. All right, this same house, you got Plano, you got North Dallas, you got South Dallas. This same house is 3 different values in every part of the Metroplex. You understand what I'm saying?
Real talk.
And so just being out here, it showed me how we as a people, because you got a neighborhood where it's a ton of black people, you can have a big house, 2-story, man. You live in a neighborhood, it's nice and clean, but it's a ton of blacks and Hispanics over there. That house might be worth $150. You take that same house and move it up to Plano, that house is worth $250. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, things we need to know.
Yeah.
Man, as far as how to get at you, man, tell us kind of where to find your music, you know what I'm saying, where it's all at, you know, a couple of stores that you got your CD in, man. Definitely read that off. And tell us how to kind of follow you on the social media networks and stuff like that.
Well, anywhere you're looking for me, man, it's just King Trill anywhere, but you can get my music from kingtrillmusic.com. That's the only thing I'm promoting now is my website, kingtrillmusic.com. And as far as stores, man, I got it in Hits Records in East Dallas, got it in Indie Connection down there in South Dallas. I just put it in Tea Time Music in the Grove. I got it in the Urban Styles in the Grove. I got it in Docks out there in Fort Worth, and I got it everywhere. By every inch of the Metroplex, almost every city store right now, you can get the album. You understand what I'm saying? Or you can just buy it from me straight out on the website.
Real talk. Y'all hit that website, man, and y'all make sure y'all support, man. Go to them stores and grab a CD, man. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Oh, man, just shout out to the whole Metroplex, man. And there's one thing, we need to get out the Dallas versus Fort Worth thing, man. It's the Metroplex as a whole. Dallas can't blow without Fort Worth. Fort Worth can't blow without Dallas. You understand what I'm saying?
Real talk, man. That's everlasting, man. Everlasting, man. Man, well, we definitely appreciate you coming through, man. Hold that up one more time, man. Let them see what it is, man. Yeah. Real estate, man. You know what I'm saying? The album, man. King Trill, man. Y'all know where to get it at, man. Y'all know what it is. Man, well, we definitely appreciate you coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? You definitely are a real life street star, and you taught us a lot of game today, man. We appreciate it, man.
And I appreciate the love, man.
Real talk. Salute.